Hey, what is up guys? Today I am bringing you what in my opinion is one of the greatest Warlock builds this season. And no, it's not another fusion grenade build, don't worry guys. For this build we are going to take a different kind of approach. If you like to let your weapons do the talking, then this build is for you. Mantle of Battle Harmony. Yes, you heard me right. We are going to bring back this antique from the past and make it a top tier pick for this season. This build is going to focus on increasing your weapon damage as much as possible, to the point where you'll be doubling your damage. Not only that, but this will probably be the most passive build you will ever see this season, as all it requires is for you to kill enemies with your weapons in order to get that damage boost. No complicated combos or setups, simple and enjoyable gaming. As I said, we are going to be using Mantle of Battle Harmony, but mainly for the damage increase that it provides. Mantle is an excellent exotic when it comes to charging up your super, but it also has an extra perk that provides a 20% damage increase to weapons matching your subclass, as long as your super is full. It basically gives you a high energy fire, but without the whole charge with light BS. As you can see, whenever you get a kill while your super is fully charged up, Mantle of Battle Harmony is going to give you a buff called Absorption Cells, and this is the buff that gives you the 20% damage boost to your solar weapons. This buff can be stacked up to a total duration of 10 seconds. This, combined with Font of Might, the radiant buff from this season, and the perks of your weapons like Rampage, Frenzy, One for All, and this will result in you getting a double damage boost on all your solar weapons. It's as simple as that. And it doesn't end there. Of course, we are going to be using our good old favorite, classy restoration for this build, making you pretty much immortal. This, combined with the new fragment that got released recently, is going to extend your radiant and restoration buffs whenever you get a kill with a solar weapon. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. Let me show you the whole setup. Stat-wise, as always, we are prioritizing resilience and then recovery. For your third stat, feel free to put your points into discipline or strength. Ability wise, you pretty much can use anything you want, however I do recommend using healing grenades, as honestly, yes, you are going to be immortal with this build, but these grenades are very good and they can save you and your teammates multiple times. Aspect wise, we are going to be using Heat Rises, which basically gives you your melee energy back whenever you get kills while being in the air. Next up we have Touch of Flame, which is going to improve your grenade. In our case, the healing grenade is going to heal more and the restoration effect is going to be stronger. Fragment wise, we are starting with Ember of Torches, which is going to give you the radiant buff whenever you hit a target with your charged melee. Next up we have Ember of Solace, which increases the duration of radiant and restoration buffs applied to you. Then we have Ember of Empyrean. Now this fragment got unlocked today, and this is one of the strongest fragments this season. The fragment is going to be extending the duration of restoration and radiant whenever you get a final blow with a solar weapon. Lastly, we have Ember of Wonder, which is there simply for the 10 resilience that it provides. On our helmet, we are going to be using Elemental Time Dilation, and this is going to increase the duration of buffs like Font of Might or Well of Life, as well as allowing them to stack together, meaning you can have multiple copies of Font of Might. Combine this with an ammo finder of your choice, and then a harmonic siphon. On our gloves, we are going to be using Font of Might. Now this gives us a 25% damage boost to our solar weapons whenever we pick up a solar elemental well. Then you combine that with a champion mod of your choice. For our chestplate, we are going to be using elemental armaments, and this is going to be our way of producing wells. Now I personally find this to be a lot more consistent than things like Melee Well Maker, because there are a lot of times where I use my melee and it simply doesn't kill the enemy, whereas elemental armaments just relies on you getting kills with your weapons. However, if you feel like Melee Well Maker is more consistent for you, then feel free to swap it out for Melee Well Maker, or even Elemental Ordnance if you think that you're getting more kills with your grenade. Then you combine this with resistant mods of your choice. For our legs, we are also going to be using Font of Might. Now this is because we want to extend the duration as much as we can, that way we have a crazy uptime on this buff. Now if you happen to be dying a lot and you feel like you need the extra healing, then feel free to swap this for Well of Life. It will be just as effective, but you will have 4 seconds left of Font of Might. Now with classier restoration, I don't think you'll be dying a lot, but there are some harder content that Well of Life can come a bit clutch. However, I do recommend sticking with Font of Might. Then we pair this up with recuperation and innervation for that extra healing and grenade energy. And finally, on our bond, yes, you guessed it right, we are also using Font of Might. Now 3 copies of this plus elemental time dilation is going to give you a full 20 seconds of a 25% damage buff to your solar weapons. Now we are combining it with our favorite mod for this season, which is Classy Restoration, which is going to be giving you that restoration ×2 whenever you activate your solar class ability, in this case our Rift. Now we are going to be extending the duration of the restoration ×2 buff whenever we get a kill with a solar weapon, meaning as long as you get kills with your solar weapons you can have this buff infinitely. Now this is a very simple example of what I mean. You pop your Rift, you use your melee, and then you start killing things, and if you look at the left side of my screen you're gonna see that all the buffs keep on renewing and increasing in duration as long as I get kills. Weapon wise, you can use anything you want in your kinetic weapon slot. I usually use my kinetic weapon slot to deal with champions. Now your energy weapon is what deals all the damage in this build. Now a couple of suggestions I can give you guys is obviously going to be the Taraba. This weapon is insane. If you happen to get all of the buffs rolling, you will be obliterating your enemies in this game. Any solar weapon with Rampage like this Borrowed Time is also a very good pick because Rampage does stack with this build. But also the new solar weapons with the incandescent buff are also very good this season. Even a Redback 5 SI with Rampage and Subsistency can be very lethal in this build. Sunshot is another really good option for this build. For your heavy, you mainly want to stick with solar weapons, but as long as you do use solar weapons, then you can use anything in this game. Now a couple of suggestions are Ascendancy, Cataclysmic, Galahorn and Lament. Now with Galahorn, if you happen to get all the buffs rolling in this build, this bad boy can deal some insane damage on your enemies, so don't be afraid to play around with it. The way you play this build is very simple. You pop your Rift and use your melee on an enemy to activate Classy Restoration as well as Radiant. Then you get a kill while your super is fully charged and bam, that's already a 45% damage boost active. If you happen to have Rampage ×1 on your weapon, that would be a 55% damage boost instead. Then you pick up a Solar Well for another 25% damage boost from Font of Might that will last for a whooping 20 seconds and giving you a total of 80% damage boost increase. After that, you keep racking up kills and further activating your weapon perks like Rampage, One for All or Frenzy, and you will end up with a 100% damage boost, which is double your damage. Once you get all of these rolling, and trust me, it is not hard because Radiant, the buff from Mantle, and your weapon perk are always going to be active on you as long as you get kills, then you will turn your weapon into an absolute beast. Now guys, if this is not the greatest Solar Warlock build this season, then I don't know what is. Go try it out for yourself and have some fun with it, you will 100% love it. And that's it for the video guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always check out my Discord because that's where you will find all the builds in one nice Discord channel. We are also growing our Destiny 2 community and I want to see more of you guys join the Discord, that way we can play together. I would love to have some help when testing out weapons and new builds, so as I said, make sure you join the Discord and we can have some fun. Don't forget to subscribe as it helps me out in growing out this channel, and once again thank you so much for all the support that you guys have been giving me so far. You guys are absolutely amazing. Have a lovely rest of your day and keep slaying Guardians.